Now, many of you already know that on the 19th of this month, which was last week, ladies and gents, NEO came out and offered a 1 billion senior notes, of course, which they, of course, divided them into two, which is $500 million worth of senior notes expiring on the 15th of October 2029, with the other 500 of senior notes expiring on the 15th of October 2030. Now, this is something that made some of the new investors not to be really excited about this, or made them to be sad, and ended up selling their shares, which is what we saw, of course, on the day of the announcement of these after market hours. NEO dropping sharply. I mean, the following day after NEO had announced this, we saw, of course, NEO finishing the day down over 17% due to this senior notes offering. Now, today, ladies and gents, we just read the news of saying that NEO has completed this, of course, senior notes offering, because you will know that that first announcement that came on the 19th, NEO said, or made a disclaimer to say that this does not mean, or that announcement did not mean that, of course, NEO had completed or was going to complete the offering. But this announcement which NEO made today, it is a confirmation that NEO now has got a confirmation of getting this $1 billion worth of money from institutional buyers. Now, this is something that is good news, because we know, or we already know, that part of the reason why NEO is raising this money is, of course, to pay up some of their outstanding debts, together with raising money, which, of course, on today's article we saw that, of course, $500 million is going to be used to, of course, paying off some of their debts, with the last $500 million strengthening their balance sheet, and, of course, doing some day-to-day operational stuff. So, which is something that, of course, it is incredible, right? Because, ladies and gents, this means that the NEO's cash balance, or the balance sheet, has become stronger, which is something that, of course, it is a good thing, right? Because, ladies and gents, closing of this deal, like I'm saying, means that NEO has completed, or NEO has gotten confirmation of getting institutional investors to give them this 1 billion which they want. Now, before we forget the house rules, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. Now, I really appreciate if you can just hit the like button if you are enjoying the content that I'm giving you about NEO completing the 1 billion senior notes offering, which they announced last week. This is good news, because this happened so quickly, or it came in so faster than I think what most investors thought. I mean, this announcement was only made last week, and to get to see NEO saying that it is closing this offering, meaning that they have institutions who offered or are offering this 1 billion to NEO, it is a good thing, and that makes me to be really excited. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, because on this channel, NEO is one of the stocks that I discuss a lot about. Now, a confusion that happened last week, which I cleared out on last week's video, is that this, of course, the senior notes offering does not mean that the dilution on the NEO shares happened last week, or is about to happen immediately. No, this dilution of the NEO stock can happen sometime towards the end of the expiry of the senior notes offering, which you will know that is the 15th of October 2029 and 15th of October 2030. So it does not mean that NEO has diluted their shares as of now yet, which of course, it does not mean that all the, of course, notes that NEO offered will be paid in terms of or by outstanding shares, or by introducing outstanding shares. They can be paid in terms of cash, or by in terms of outstanding shares that NEO, of course, will bring into the stock exchange. So this does not mean that NEO is going to introduce, or the shares of NEO are going to be diluted now, which is something that I don't think it's supposed to be the much pain, or bring so much pain into the NEO investors, or those that are investing onto the NEO stock. What is most important is that NEO was able to raise this money within a week after they had announced last week that they will be going out to seek $1 billion from investors, or from institutional investors, so that they can pay some of their debts, improve their balance sheet, which, to get to see them doing that, or closing this deal within a week, and probably raise this 1 billion makes me to be really excited as a new investor, and I'm hoping to see NEO really continue to strengthening their balance sheet as the quarters unfold, because one of the things that was having a huge impact into NEO's balance sheet, of course, or cash and cash equivalents, was of course the developments that we saw or that we've been seeing on NEO. I mean, most of you will know that NEO introduced so many new models this year, or NT 2.0 models this year, which that we all know that it charges a lot of money. And NEO has been aggressively deploying battery swapping stations out there to get to their target of 2,300 battery swapping station by the end of this year. Over and above that, NEO has introduced or unveiled the NEO smartphone that connect easily and communicate easily with their cars, which that is part of the reason why we've been seeing, of course, NEO's losses or NEO's spending a lot or having a huge cut into their cash and cash equivalents, which is something that, looking at the fact that NEO has sort of like established themselves in this fast growing new EV industry, it makes me to be really excited, because NEO, it looks like they are on track to become one of the leaders in this fast growing EV industry. So I'm very excited about this, and I think this 1 billion senior notes, which $500 million will go to strengthening their balance sheet, together with, of course, some of their day-to-day activities, makes me to be really excited, because not only, of course, are we going to get NEO closing off some of their existing debts, but we are going to also get the balance sheet being strengthened from this very same $1 billion that NEO closed the day. So I'm very excited, and I thought I should just give you those quick updates about this, of course, news. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell so that you get notified every time I drop a new content. So I know that the NEO pre-market is trading down 3%, which of course is not a good thing, right? Or it's not a good sign starting the week, but nonetheless, I'm a long-term investor, and I believe that in the long term, this is the company that will do very well, because they are doing everything in their power to be one of the best, or to do whatever all that needs to be done to become the leaders in this industry. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.